Back to many friends who I'm seeing and to new friends. Welcome. I'm Eden Amadora. For those who have not yet been to a Mystical Insight Oracle Office Hours, we're still merging the names. It's both Mystical Insights and Oracle Office Hours. And if you are willing to put your video on, it gives me so much joy. Hi, Dia Therese. Good to see you in the Valley of Peace. And for those who are beaming in for the first time, one of the things we love to do is just presence where we're coming from. So you can share that in the chat. And if you're not familiar with Zoom and how to chat, just scroll down to the bottom and you'll see some icons. If you're on a computer, it's trickier on the phone, I've learned. But if you can find that chat bar, let us know where you're beaming in from. Welcome, Rodney. Welcome, Lynn and Leaf. Welcome, Tejas, Sylvia. Good to see you. Maria, Amber, Crystal. Good to see you. It's one of my joyful places, these community calls, and whether it's a live spiritual masterclass, mystical insights, or when my dear friend Scott invites me to the awakening world, I always feel us as that. I really do feel that together we are the awakening world. We are bridging across the world with resonance, finding that frequency that we're resonating with that feels like, oh, this is where I want to be. I just had someone named Venus Queen pop into the waiting room. That's fun. So welcome, welcome. I am here in Marin County, California, just a little hop beyond the Golden Gate Bridge up in beautiful, almost wine country. That's where I grew up. Good to see you from the Poconos, Maria, Lara from the UK, Crystal from the UK, Lynn and Leaf from Justine, California. T is Tonya. Thank you for letting me know. Kim's in Boston. And Sylvia from the Hopewell Lands in Central Ohio. It's fun to feel us. I know that I have friends that get the replay from the YouTube live in Australia and are really happy to be a part of this community too, even though the time difference. Well, there's Tanya from New Zealand. You're making the time difference work. Thank you. Can you let us know what time is it in New Zealand? Oh, Tanya's in Bora Bora, and you're beaming in from Bora Bora on vacation. Okay, that touched my heart. Because if I was in Bora Bora, I'd be like, well, I don't know if it's nighttime. If it was daytime, I'd be in that water. I'd be like swimming right now. What a beautiful place to be. Okay, it's bright and early. Thank you for waking up and being a part of this. That just touched my heart. So for those who are new, we come together for many reasons, of course. We all bring what we're going through. We bring our desire to connect. We bring the openness to receive. And part of this call has been working with the archetypes, the divine feminine. And this is an offering that I've been giving now. Wow, it's probably going on almost a couple years because I'm so immersed in this world of the feminine mysteries, and part of my mission, my heart's prayer is to bring the goddess back into balance in collective consciousness with the divine masculine, with, we've been living in a culture, especially in the West, where we're mostly influenced by Abrahamic religions where the divine is only masculine. So to bring back the Shekinah, to bring back Shakti, to bring back all the different faces of the divine feminine as a way of balancing ourselves as we're opening to her, as we allow the feminine principle of divinity in, then we balance that into that unity consciousness in the heart, where it's beyond gender, it's beyond black and white, duality, polarity, he, she. It's just love and only love. And as we come into that balance, then we walk together in the heart and we walk in love. So that's what I'm up to here, just for new people. So we bring the goddess back into our awareness, and we also work with this beautiful deck. This is my mentor and fairy goddess mother's deck. Ariel Spilsbury created this beautiful deck, and I'm going to show it now, and then we'll bring it back up to choose cards for individuals who are here. And if you're new, you get to go first. But I wanted to show the beautiful deck again because there's a reason why Ariel chose the peacock feathers. There's the triquetra, that is the triple goddess, the maiden mother crone in the geometry. And then there's the peacock's feathers that represents alchemy. And we might have heard of alchemists of old turning lead into gold, and that's a physical phenomenon that seems very magical. What alchemy is in the mystery school is the raising of frequency, the raising of our own vibration, the inner alchemy. So we use these alchemical cards to feel how we might be given some guidance from the goddess to do that. And that's why these peacock feathers are here, because peacocks can eat poison and transmute it. They can alchemize it into the beauty of their colors. That's why you often see peacocks at garbage dumps pecking around. They can eat things that would kill us or another animal. So before we do our collective reading, I like to come together for a moment just to come into the one heart. And I'm going to invite you to place a hand right on your heart chakra, right in the center of your chest, and just give it a little energy. Breathing together. The reason we come here is to first come back to ourselves, fully feel. And when we put a hand on our hearts, it does some wonderful things for us. It releases oxytocin, which is that feel-good chemical. Helps start to down-regulate the nervous system for all the stressors in our lives. So when you combine that with some deep breaths, which we're going to do now, it really is a wonderful tool. Place our other hand down on our lower belly, just to anchor yourself deep in this precious body temple with me. And then go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. Let's take 3 deep breaths, just breathing in, letting the prana oxygenate the body. Ah. And as you exhale, you can give a sigh. This is your time to really come back to yourself. Another deep breath. Ah. It feels really good to release and make a little sound. Last sigh. Ah. And then I'd like to invite you to cultivate an inner smile. And even if you've been going through a lot, just to feel a moment of gratitude, because there's always something to be thankful for. And when we return to gratitude, it's like a portal into higher frequencies right here, right now, shifting consciousness at will, a little practical magic. So feel what you're grateful for, even if you're going through some challenges. There's something. This moment, having food, water, shelter, a mobile body, for some of us, that is such a blessing. And for others who aren't as fortunate, feel what you can still expand into gratitude for. And feel in this opening, in this moment, what you can also presence is what you've come to alchemize. Perhaps there's something you've been carrying, worry, doubt, fear, stress. Feel that as the lead that you're bringing to this temple to place on the altar. In love, anything is possible. And so we open to this possibility, to the mystery. And we give thanks for this chance to come together in this sweetness, in this good way today. One more deep breath. And then opening our eyes together. I just want to honor you for showing up and being here. when there's so many choices, so many things you could be swimming in Bora Bora. So thank you. And I have some people popping things into, oh, from Kim. Oh no, from Lion Eye on Facebook. Yes, peacocks can't be killed by venom or poison. That's right. They can purposely fight snakes and scorpions, then eat them even after being bit or stung. Krishna's favorite animal. Thank you. And hello, beloved one. That just made me really feel your presence. And yes, Randy, banter is great word shift. Any conversation can come into oneness. If you hold a high frequency, you can actually invite others into that. And words are powerful magic, right? So we choose to speak avra hadavra. I speak that I create. How do you weave your words into reality? Are we inviting people into a higher frequency? This is a true meaning for me of presence and compassion. It's really holding the high watch for beings who might be suffering. And instead of getting sucked into that frequency and meeting them where they are, really seeing the greater possibility. So that's some kind of wonderful banter. Venus Queen, I'm so glad you're here. That name really delights me. And you came from YouTube. That's awesome. So let's begin. I pulled a collective card with Kim before y'all got here. And this card is truly a wonderful collective reading card. I'm about to show it to you. First, I want to let you know that in this Peacock alchemical deck, there are three kinds of cards. There is a sacred tool of the goddess, which is always an embodiment tool. Even if the tool is something like a chalice or a sword, the way that we work with the sacred tools is how they come into our energetic embodiment. How do we embody those tools? The second kind of card is a frequency card. It's usually got a sacred geometry and a color frequency. The language of light is our divine mother tongue, and it works with us through color, sound, sacred geometries. We're receiving from the symbolic universe constantly. So when we open to that, we can receive a lot of support with the frequencies alone. And then the third card is the archetype herself. So know this, the archetypes, the divine feminine, are larger, vaster magnetic fields than a goddess with one name from one culture in one place and time. The archetype vastly spans this realm, different cultures, different timelines. For instance, the archetype of the goddess of love was known by many names in many places. From Inanna, the oldest myth known to humanity from ancient Sumeria, Inanna represented the myth of Inanna represented Venus, the third brightest object in the sky, when she would conjunct the sun and disappear for 3 days. They made this elaborate story about this archetype, and her name was Inanna, based on the energetics of the planet Venus. So for Venus, who's here, Venus love, Venus goddess, I love your name, Venus queen, there she is. This archetype has other names in ancient Greece, Aphrodite, ancient Rome, Venus, in India, Lakshmi. So while we're working with these archetypes, you can feel into which face of the goddess actually resonates the most for you. Our collective card is the goddess of love's tool. So her tool, different than some of the other archetypes that have a physical tool, it's not a papaya, nor a cello. You can see the bodies of cellos. Her tool are the senses themselves. Our senses are the tool of this archetype. So in some mystical traditions that are more, we'll call them more patriarchal, more based on ascending up and out of the body, like the Gnostics that separated from the body, or other mystical traditions, even some yogic gurus would say, we must suppress the senses to reach nirvana, to reach enlightenment. In the divine feminine, the senses are the very tool that we awaken through. Instead of leaving the body, suppressing the body, we awaken through all of our senses, and then we open our mystical perception to our extrasensory channels. So because this is the collective reading, I would say that we're being asked to come even more into our embodiment. The tool of the senses is inviting us to actually feel, to integrate, to feel and to return to the guidance of the body, to return to what the body wisdom is, to trust if it doesn't smell right, it's not. To use your body, that is the most immensely beautiful gift of high tech, beyond AI, the body itself. We are just starting to awaken to how powerful, magical, and high tech these bodies really are. I have had experiences as I open my heart, as I awaken to more innocence, more self-trusting, more self-love, where my senses are extremely heightened and I become more telepathic, more intuitive in the body, trusting the body. So the question I have for you is, what helps you get here fully now in your own body? And where are you still perhaps bypassing, suppressing, denying the instincts of the body? The tool of the senses is here to remind us that we are incredibly sensitive. If you're here, you're already a magical, sensitive being. If you're resonating with this card, you're on an awakening path. If you're tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, and you're still watching, that's because of resonance. So no matter what they're projecting on the screens and telling us is true, trust the tool of your senses as a navigating tool. Get in the body to integrate, to feel, to listen, to sense, to smell. There are many ways that our normal five senses can then open up to become superpowers. So we have, yes, we have comments coming in. Beautiful. So sensitive now more than ever, trying to learn how to move with it. Witnessing you, Amber, as many of us are, and many of our bodies are changing. There are beings that might talk often about ascension symptoms, or what's happening with the greater energetic shifts on the planet, and how sometimes overwhelming it is when we're bombarded with so much information. And how do we navigate now? How do we attune our senses and take care of these bodies as a living temple for our souls? So Kim is saying that Alina from Facebook, a leaf fell on my head right when you said denying the senses of the body. Nettie from YouTube is presenting herself from Nova Scotia. Welcome, welcome. It's fun to feel all the ways that we are connecting. So yes, breathe and close your eyes. Yes, Dia Teresa's body wisdom. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we are here in these bodies, and if there's anything you take from this particular call today, there are forces that, I like to say, the forces that were changing the script, that would like to make us feel not enough, that there's something wrong with us, that we're even born out of alignment, and we're born divine and perfect. So when we remember our connection, we remember where we come from, and then we awaken to our interconnectedness, we're unstoppable. And our bodies are blessings. They say that souls are lining up to come here. This is where it's happening. This is where we get to see it, touch it, taste it, feel it, be in it. And then we start to recognize more and more the beauty that surrounds when we walk in that gift, when we walk in fully embodied presence. You see through new eyes, you see new earth, you see, it's a garden. That myth about fall from grace, that myth is not real. Spell casting at the highest octave. So perhaps because my name's Eden, I'm very passionate about still seeing the garden, Edenic consciousness. Yeah, Vita says the powers that claim to be. A woman at the herbal symposium once told me that, and I love that phrasing. Create some spaciousness. Oh, ding to that. If we wake up as we are, I would say, as we continue waking up to see reality more clearly, we recognize how powerful we are. And then this fun use of language, Randy, you probably get a kick out of this. If you change I to we, illness becomes wellness. When I becomes we, illness becomes wellness. When we wake up and see there is nothing wrong with us, and we are in this amazing, amazing, beautiful garden, illness becomes wellness, and we play together. So yes to that. Loving the comments. Thank you for the participation. It makes it so fun. So for new people, this is a time where you can raise your hand. If you scroll down to the bottom bar and you see the little reactions icon, there's an up arrow. Click that and you'll see the little hand raise icon. And I'd love to read for you. It's time for you to choose a card and to deepen with the goddess, whatever is burning in your heart. I love to see the smiles. I love seeing you all up there. Thank you for those who are turning on your camera so we can connect. And for those who want a reading, if you turn on your camera, it makes it a lot more fun for me to see you and to connect with you. There's some new people I haven't read for. Gianna, I'd love to meet you. Vida, I'm glad that you're here and I'd love to see you and meet you. I know sometimes we're used to coming and just watching like the entertainment, but this is more like a temple. This is a place we gather. Crystal, thank you for raising your hand. I'd love to meet you. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Let's see where.
Hello.
Hi, can I bring you on with me? Are you
I'm trying to, but it's barely picking up any light here. Is that better? Hi.
Hi, I'm going to bring you on. Hi, good to see you. Where are you beaming in from? Where are you calling from?
I'm in the UK at the moment.
Oh, right. Lovely. What part?
Um, I live in South Gloucestershire, that's just below Wales.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I was in Glastonbury last summer. A little bit deeper into the summer in August, last August. I
Oh,
love that area. And I'd love to visit Wales one day. I hear it's a very magical place. Do you ever
yeah.
go across the border into that?
I do. I work with the rivers in Wales.
Oh, beautiful. Ooh, I want to find out more about that. Working with the locals. That sounds so good right there, whatever it means. And are you working with elemental magic and the waterways?
I am a shamanic practitioner, so I connect on that level with them.
Beautiful. All right, Crystal. I am shuffling the cards for you. This is your time to receive and just breathe. And if you want to put a hand on your heart, how it goes is I'm going to keep you unmuted, but pop you off so that I get bigger so you can see your card, and then I'll bring you back in. So stay unmuted. Here we go. So I'm going to fan the cards. And then I'll scroll my hand across. And when you're ready, you can say there or now or stop. All right.
Okay.
Ready? Here
Yeah.
we, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Woo. You got another tool. You got another powerful tool of the primal goddess. So when I mentioned Shakti earlier, when I mentioned all the different archetypes and frequencies of the goddess, you can feel the difference between the last tool and this one. And it's interesting because the primal goddess in the wheel of the archetypes from the 13 Moon Mystery School, it comes right after the goddess of love. And with this much catalytic power of your own life force energy, your own vitality, your own Shakti, we come first from the open heart. We come first from that heart that is unshielded, so that this power flows in a very like loving, free way through our own bodies and serve our dreams and visions, serves the collective, this raw Shakti creative life force energy. It's said that passion with wisdom can fuel generations. Passion without wisdom can burn like a forest fire. So you're receiving this tool of lightning in your life to help recatalyze you, to awaken you, to quicken you, to find that fire of your heart, that passion again, and the vitality and health that comes from that free, uninhibited Shakti flow. Many beings have been conditioned to fear and think their sexuality might be dark or somehow shameful. And the primal goddess is the veil lifter completely around that. She's going to have us own our sexual creative power fully, to catalyze the actions we take, to move from the instinct, that like sense of like a wolf sensing what's true and moving
Mm.
towards that. So, for you, beloved, if there's any way that your system is dampened down or stagnant in any way, she's inviting more of this spark, this heat, this fire, balancing, maybe even Ayurvedically, bringing that pitta up, bringing that breath of fire, bringing that, yes, that roar for life back
Yeah.
in your body. You resonate with this? This I
Yeah,
can.
I'm actually going through that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, she's here to say you can bring back that yes, that breath of fire, that passion, that spark again. We're multidimensional. It's not just spiritual, mental, emotional. It's like your body is the holy temple, and the mind is in the body, and the body is in the mind shamanically. So as you inhabit this body, taking that inner fire and then bringing it back out,
Yeah.
catalyze. Is there anything else
Beautiful.
that resonated that you especially went, aha, that's my message from the goddess today?
Yes. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So good to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. Thank you.
And I come back to England, I'd love to connect if you ever come to Glastonbury. That's where it
Oh,
calls for ceremony.
absolutely.
Wonderful. Blessing, sister. And I invite you to stay because I have a dear friend, Alexis, and she can't make these Oracle office hours. It's a conflict with her other work. She watches it because each card holds a key. So archetypes are so vast, as we were speaking about, that you might feel, wow, that's resonating too. So apply it to different parts of your life. Alexis says, that card will be about my romantic relationship. That will be about my self-care. That will be about my career. There's ways to keep receiving the wisdom from the goddess, the energy. Gianna, I'd love to meet you. Would you come on with me?
Hi, sure.
Yay! Love your smile.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you today?
I'm in Northern California,
Oh, you're near me. What town?
Mill Valley.
Oh, we're so close. Yay. Good to meet you.
You too.
I'm there often. I'll be there Friday.
Oh, cool. What are you doing?
Girly stuff. I'm getting
Oh, okay.
it.
I thought maybe you had an event. I'm like, I want to know
Oh
about
no, I'll let you know if you're on my
that.
mailing
Okay.
list. It'd be great to
Yeah.
invite you to in-person stuff. We just had a fabulous summer solstice ceremony for the greater community this last weekend. So for things
Ah,
like that, yeah,
okay, cool.
that
That's
was
awesome.
beautiful. There were like 40 people in this bay laurel grove making magic.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
keep you posted. All right, so I'm shuffling the cards for you, and this is once again just a time to receive from the goddess. And more than like a yes, no question, it's going to come right into some part of your journey, some aspect that you're dealing with, and you'll know when you feel resonance. Okay, stay unmuted and I'll pop you back on. Okay. All right, Gianna. Ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
There.
All right. We've got a frequency card for you, and just feel it at first. It's a
Mm.
geometry and it's full of opalescent starlight, rainbow light, and stars. And you can see that great word, illumination. This is a frequency card of an archetype that we call the alchemical goddess.
Mm.
Yes, and the alchemical goddess, just like the peacock story, she's able to transmute all the lead into gold for her illumination, for this greater opening and awakening to grace. Her expression is, I am union, I am grace, I am freedom. And this rainbow light is asking you to really feel as a frequency being when you're navigating in your life and you're bringing forth your frequency, what color will serve each moment? How can you weave in that relationship, in that conversation, some illumination, some way of being that will actually raise the frequency? We talked about that a little bit earlier. The one with the highest frequency has the power to illuminate and to invite into those higher octaves of consciousness. So whenever we pull an alchemical goddess card, the question that I ask the being is really to contemplate for you, what is the lead that you're working with right now? What is this deeper invitation to feel? Often we'd like something to change from the outside so that we feel better rather than get better at feeling so that things appear differently. The alchemical goddess also has an expression, which is that as viewed, so appears. So as you're navigating in your relationships, as you're navigating in your life, often we see what we expect and we see who we are. I'm going to bring you right back in to feel this illumination card a little bit more with me. She's the culmination of the whole journey. She's the one that has come into that rainbow body, that fully aligned rainbow chakra. Everything is like flowing and she's sitting. If we see that goddess card, she's just sitting there in bliss. It's a very high frequency. Ecstasy's up there with enlightenment. She is the embodiment of ecstatic reunion with the beloved within. So we often are waiting for that being to come to us or to change our outpicturing instead of bringing that beloved union, that ecstatic embodiment to the world. So she's reminding you, this is you, this is in you. And this multifaceted dodecahedron, I'd have to check on what the term. This is your awareness. It's like, how do we open to those many, many facets to bring that awareness to our beloveds, to the world? It's a very high frequency card. So you're calling in some high alchemy and high magic right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. I
You're
need that.
you're
So,
so welcome. Is there anything that you can apply this to that
oh, definitely. I mean, I'm going through some health issues, and so I'm having this healing journey. And well, that is the message is, I really have to work on a lot of healing inside so that I can also heal my body.
Yeah, and the
So,
other card for Crystal about that Shakti wanting to heal us, wanting to flow, wanting to open the body, and then the heart being this generator, right? Where there's a there's a beautiful expression that comes in a couple different of the archetypal initiations, and it's that self-love is the gateway we must all pass through for any true love and any real experience of ecstasy or love that's lasting. It's generated from within, right? And
mm,
that nourishes us. It heals the body as we raise our frequency, as we forgive, as we release the past. We're opening to this healing, this miracle of love. So I recognize your wisdom in recognizing it's an inside job. It's almost like the body is the last layer. It's like
mhm,
vibrational, emotional. Then there's the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what is real. And then the body responds and it crystallizes. And the amazing thing is people have come back from the most like dire things through shifting that inner, and all things are possible from that place. So we're just holding you in that possibility today, all of us beaming you
thank
this
you.
this loving healing light. So good to meet
Yeah,
you.
nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's ring the bowl for the alchemical goddess in all of us. Venus, Queen. Do you have your camera on? Let me see if I can find you. There she is. Hello.
Hello. Can you
Wow.
hear me?
Oh, yeah. And look at your background.
Oh,
I'm loving it.
I just changed it so you wouldn't see the mess behind me.
That's me right now. I have like construction going on at my house. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so
Hi.
do you resonate with the goddess of love archetype when
Um,
that name you've chosen?
it's
Venus.
so funny. I gave myself that name years ago, and then I just reclaimed it like a year ago. And so I guess I do sort of resonate with the goddess of love. She's not my strongest archetype though, but I really do love the name. So I Yeah. I've thought about changing it for many reasons, and I think that I'm known in some circles as Venus Queen, and so I'm like, well, I can't change it now because that's just how people know me.
What archetype do you resonate most with now?
So it's definitely changed. Um, I have resonated with the goddess of death, sadly, over the past few years, just because of some losses in my life. Right now with the summer solstice and the sun and the heat, I feel like it's the primal goddess that I'm resonating with, just that like, and letting like the sun kind of like soak into my body and like charge me up for the rest of the year. So
Yes.
yeah. That's
Beautiful.
where I'm at.
Let's see who comes to visit you today.
Okay.
It was really resonating with what you said.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
stay unmuted. It's so just good to see you and feel you before we begin your reading. Okay, here we go. All right. Ready? Here we go.
I feel like it's right in there,
I'll
right
stop
there.
where I heard your
Sure.
voice.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Woo! I'm glad you got the archetype herself that I just talked about. So we get to see her.
Ooh.
Look at that beauty. This is
Mhm.
yes, where we can feel her as I was just sharing, sitting in that catalytic Shakti fire. We got that aspect where the primal goddess and the alchemical goddess come together. There's an expression in Latin, ecstasis divinitas, divine ecstasy. And often we're so heavily conditioned in this realm to suppress our desire and our Shakti and our ecstasy and like keep it together and be careful. And oh, if you're that juicy, if you're that radiant, what might you attract or what might happen? But we're talking about levels of divine ecstasy that open portals that change everything. And she comes in the turn of the wheel right after the Queen of Death, right after the big release, the let go, the trust into the mystery. And you've been in this initiation of that. You've been in this releasing and trusting the mystery with the loss. And here she is for you now, right? Right at this height of the heat of the sun and the summer solstice. And it's such a confirmation from what you shared that she is saying, be in this corpus glorificatum, this glorified body, the golden flask of the elixir of your own aliveness. I'm going to bring you so we can connect even better and I can see you again. Yeah, it's really a confirmation of this moment after that journey of grief, right? And sometimes the grief is the love. It's the same front side, back side, the depth of the grief, the depth of the darkness that we go through in our initiation in trust to then cultivate that. It's like we push off from that bottom, and as deep as we've gone is now as high as we rise in that ecstasy. So she is here, she is with you. She is the corona of light around you and your wisdom as you ascend through your chakras into this ecstasis divinitas, aliveness. So I feel this is
Yeah, I have to tell you how much that's resonating with me. And I almost was just gonna put my hand down and be like, never mind. I just don't feel like if I want to, interact in that way or something right now. But I'm so glad I stayed on because that's all of it. You're so spot on. Like I've been in that depth. And when you said like the to the depth that I've been is how high I rise. And I've also just been working with like integration in some other ways. And I've been doing like chakra work. And I feel like I'm coming into this higher version of myself, this version that's been developing and alchemizing. So that's so perfect. And it is the other side kind of, I feel like of where I've been and where I'm willing to let myself get to finally now, And so I wrote down ecstatic. I don't know how to say that. I need to look it up so I can
ecstasis divinitas.
ecstatus
Ecstasis
divinitas. It's so
divinitas.
powerful. And yeah, and then just that the whole like the energy rising through the chakras and the golden halo with the sun. Yeah. There's a reason I did not put my hand down and I stayed on
I'm
because I
so
needed
glad.
that so much. So thank
I'm so
you.
glad you beamed in live today instead of just watching it on YouTube and that you came
Yeah.
and that you stayed and there's no
Same.
coincidences. So good to
Thank
feel you
you.
here. So beautiful to meet you. Thank
You
you.
too.
All right, let's ring the bowl for the alchemical goddess herself. Beautiful. And just for all of us, just for the joy of it, the feeling of it, I'm going to invite this very simple embodiment practice where we bring our hands to our heart and then we lift them to the one heart. Ecstasis divinitas, ecstasis divinitas, ecstasis divinitas. Woo! And just feel the energy rise and this big aura, this halo of light around you. Heart first. Yes. Woo. Randy says, without our grief, how could we understand as much about love? Yeah, it reminds me of the Khalil Gibran, the beautiful poem, the writing about sorrow and joy, grief and love. So Sylvia is asking about, it's Megan and Alexis. I'm glad you're asking. So today, right after this call, Megan and Alexis, who are two of my sweet soul sister initiate apprentices, are leading a free moon circle that is manifesting with the moon. Very specific tools, keys, and ways to work with the lunar cycles that I'm excited about. And I encourage you, Kim, oh, here, Kim just popped it in the chat. Manifesting with the triple O moon starts today, right in 10 minutes. So I highly suggest copying the link. And for those who are beaming in on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to read it. It's joinfree.mooncircle with 3 O's.com. So that will take you to their, I think it's an automatic thing that will send you a Zoom link right then. So go ahead and copy that if you're wanting to be a part of that amazing call that's right after this. And Alexis and Megan, I think they were here with me last week. They were in the summer solstice call with me. That's what it was. Yeah. So yeah, we were here last week on the summer solstice call, heart alchemy call. And they're incredible, incredible guides, priestesses that will assist you in manifesting your dreams and visions and opening to this lunar wisdom that's until now been kind of, lesser known and not as available in collective consciousness. We're bringing back our connection to the elements, to the archetypes of the goddess, to lunar wisdom, to our connection with our bodies as a living temple. All of these things make the difference in this great awakening. So I have time for a couple more, maybe brief readings. Amber, I'd love to meet you. Would you be willing to turn on your camera and come? Wonderful. Let's say hi. Welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you. Can you remind me where you are?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio. Oh, you're near
Yeah,
Sylvia, maybe. What part of Ohio?
I'm in Boardman. Can you hear me okay? I have a earbud in.
Yeah, I can hear you great. Nice to meet you. I love that, we're beaming in from all these different places and you can feel the goddess is alive and afoot. We're bringing her back. We're bringing her into these towns, these communities. So yay to that. As I shuffle the cards for you, Amber, really take a moment and just kind of drop in and feel what relationships, what areas of your life you're like, okay, however you relate to the goddess, maybe it's mother, maybe it's great mystery, just open to that. We'll see who comes for you and I'll bring you back in. Stay muted. I mean, unmuted. Don't mute yourself. Okay, here we go. All right. Ready? Say yes, so I hear you.
Yes.
Here we go. Tell me when.
When?
Oh, do you want the first card or the second one I touched?
Second.
Second. Okay, this is the one that my hand landed on. So we'll see. All right, she's back. We've had a fiery mystical insights today. So I'm curious if when I read the catalyze card, you had like, oh, that might serve me too, because she's back for you. This is the primal goddess. She's here again.
That's
And this is her
funny.
free,
Exactly.
yeah, you felt that when I read it before. This is the confirmation. This is all about you reclaiming your creative, sexual, vital power in your body, in your body. A lot of times we're conditioned to think, if only I had this thing out there, I'd feel better, I'd feel more powerful. And in the system we've been imprinted by, we have this false sense of power as control. We put power and control in the same box. But the reality is, the more we try to control, the more contracted and the lower our vibration. And that's in the head, it's not in the body. Control is also like what might happen in the future. When we come back to the body, we're in the present moment. We come back to our breath. We come back to what does my belly need and feel? And what's it telling me right now? Instinct. So your passion is connected to first getting in the body, feeling what's real from that embodied wisdom, and then recatalyzing what you are then a yes for. Because we can't choose from a disembodied place. We're buffeted around by other people's reality if we're not in our bodies. We're powerful in our bodies. We're passionate, we're awake, we're alive, we're unfuckable with when we're actually in present in our bodies. So there's a way that you remember. I'm just intuitively getting this for you. When you were young, there's a way that you would feel so good in your body. It might have been dancing, it might have been skipping, it might have been shaking. There was something that helped you connect and feel alive and feel free. Because the primal goddess also doesn't really care what it looks like. She's not here for other people's validation or approval. And if you need to go scream into a pillow, if you need to go shake to get back into your body, she's the full permissionary. She's saying, do what it takes to get here now. Feel your aliveness. Come back to that place when you were 7 or even earlier, where you're like, this is my life and I'm in my body and I'm feeling good being here. I want to play. I want to do this. So usually I don't go into the little kid stuff with primal goddess, but for you, I'm feeling the freedom that you once felt in your body, and how she's like, bring back that belief in your dreams and visions, your passion for life, your passion for your creative yes, that big yes that burns in your heart.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate you expanding on that just for me. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad you came. So good to meet you. Bye for now. Well, we can do one more. I gotta hop pretty soon, but if you're willing to turn your camera on, I'll give you a reading, Maria, even though your image is super cool. Yay! Hi. Okay. Good to see you. And look at your background. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yay! Where are you today?
I'm in the Poconos in Pennsylvania.
Fun. And are they mountains when you say the Poconos? Yeah.
It's
Oh,
beautiful country, nature, love it. Coming
oh,
from New York where I was raised, it was too busy for me.
yeah. I can feel the peacefulness when you speak of the Poconos.
Mhm.
Beauty and the peace. All right. So as I shuffle the cards for you, this is your moment just to breathe and receive. And I will bring you back soon for the
Thank you.
yes. Okay. So remember, everyone, as we read for Maria, the archetypes are medicine for many. So you may receive even more insight, mystical insight from the goddess. All right, Maria, ready? Say yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Woo! All right. So you got a tool, and you got a very powerful tool of a very powerful archetype. Boom. She's, yeah, she's the creator, destroyer, preserver. And
Right here.
you resonate. You're resonating. You're like, that's me.
Yes.
I am that. Yes. So she is like no BS, right? That which is not resonating will be destroyed very quickly in her. This is Kali. This is the one that um has the fire that will burn to ash that which is illusory. That which no longer serves you will need to move out of the way so that you can create that which is true now, that which is real in your passion, what you focus on. What you focus on, you create. Her expression is, I focus, I create. I focus, I create. I'm feeling like there's art in your life, something that wants to be created, something that's asking you to focus on. And I'm going to bring you back so we can tune in more with you as well. So this is not your soft and fluffy and inviting goddess of love card. She's kind of like an ass kicker. If things are not in alignment, it's going to move it into alignment more rapidly. And like a magnifying glass that can start a fire from a beam of sun, she's asking you to use the sacred tool of the crystal skull as your own consciousness, to bring that in your meditations, to clear and focus and visualize that which you're here to create, to really bring that beam of sunlight in to start a holy fire of creativity in your life. So you will know, like when you get into that state of the crystal skull, you will see this is mine to create. And if it's not, if it's something to be burnt, you can really take the risk. Like at this point of your life, you're a wise woman. You're not here to please other people. You're here to actually live in the highest alignment with your creation, with your creativity. So I see you nodding. I feel you resonating with some aspect of this kind of, you know her. You know her. This is the big permission from Kali Ma to get more focused now. Is there something you're bringing into birth, into creation?
Yeah. So this is something that they've been pushing at me. Take action, take action, take action. And this is about stepping into my powers, putting myself out there and offering my services. I did an intensive shamanic. I'm certified shamanic practitioner as well, and it's been my calling for a long time. Where I finally stepped into it, and this has been something that I've been saying this year. This is when the year is going to happen, but I've been in this analysis paralysis.
Aha.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'm just feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff. Like I feel like I wasn't alone. Like I felt stuck, and but I know that I need to focus and get myself back into alignment. Yeah, and
Information for that analysis paralysis is, so many of us here can relate to this. It's like the perfectionism, the overthinking, mental complexity. This is the invitation to, I'm going to give you some really wild homework if you're willing. Are you willing for some archetypal homework?
yes.
Kali Ma would like you to go into the forest far away from any people and find a decomposing stump or log and just pound it to smithereens to destroy something that you can make sound and release and get the energy that's been stuck out, to ask permission from the earth. If it's already kind of decomposing, it's going to be like, sure, take it, go for it. Just let yourself release into the earth, compost it into the earth, yell it, release it. That energy is ready. It's ready to move now. So if
Yes.
you're willing to take that homework, if other people are resonating, to think that's for me, that's my prescription too, then blessed be. But this is definitely, definitely for you, Maria, to get out of the analysis paralysis.
Yes, I love that. And I will take it upon myself to go ahead and follow that.
Release. You've got
Yes.
all that nature out there, far away from people. Let the earth be your ally and to move the energy that's been keeping you in the mental complexity and paralysis. And like many of the readings today, the overview, the bigger message I'm feeling is get back in our bodies, light that holy fire of our creativity, and
Mhm.
allow our gifts to be shared, really to move into our passion, our big yes. This is like the bigger message from the goddess today. Do you feel that? You feel that
Mhm.
overarching? Yeah, it's really strong.
Yes. Thank you.
So I'm so glad to meet you. This is so
Thank you
fun.
for the invitation.
Yay. All right, blessings. Let's ring the bowl for the creator, destroyer, preserver, and all the beautiful goddess archetypes. And before we say goodbye for today, I have an invitation for you. I am opening up a community space called the Living Temple Portal on Mighty Networks. And some of us have been disillusioned with Facebook for a long time, but we want to connect with like-hearted community where we'll receive witnessing, support, we can share, and we can be blessed up by a lot of the magic in the space. It is a living temple space as a very specific kind of frequency if you're resonating with the divine feminine, with the work we've been doing, with this alchemical work. Each month will take us through a different archetype where you'll get so much more than one card worth of, the download from that archetype. It'll be full of beauty, poetry, imagery, and then people's shares and how they're interfacing with that archetype. Come join the Living Temple portal. So Kim just popped it in the chat. It is edenamadora.com/living temple. And that is a way to stay connected. There's a lot of free, even mini courses in there. If you're new to this journey or you want to dip a toe in before joining something that's a little bit more of a commitment time or financially in the mystery school work. Speaking of, I also want to mention that the next opportunity to join a circle of sisterhood and mystery school work is called Enter the Temple, and we begin at the end of the summer. And that is our 13-week intro circle that is a lot more structured than just being a part of the community portal. It will take you through the 13 archetypes that we work with and prepare you for something like the Mysterium next year or a retreat with me for those who really want to go deep. That's coming a little bit later. But for now, Enter the Temple. Kim has also popped that in the chat. And for those on Facebook and YouTube, we'll pop that in the comments below soon. For now, I'll read it. It's edenamadora.com/enter-the-temple-3. And this one has a very specific theme. Every time we do these beautiful 13-week intensives, they have a theme. And this one is awakening the voice, awakening that powerful tool of your transmission. Whether you're a sound adept or a singer or not, we'll do lots of sound and song and mantras. That being said, this is about your expression, your freedom as a transmitter, as an emissary of the goddess. Many of us in the collective feminine have been conditioned to swallow down our voices and the power of our truth and our gnosis. So this Enter the Temple is about freeing the voice, awakening the voice of the goddess in you. You are her channel. You are her emissary. So together we rise and we do this beautiful work together and we open our hearts and our voices in unison. I love you all. I bow to you. Let's just lift this to the one heart. Thank you, everyone. Only love. To the one heart. Blessed be. Bye for now.